Yes, today we will discuss on unit and measurement for class 9th. Before this, let us talk about the physics. So what is physics? Physics is nothing but it is a branch of science which deals with the study of nature and its law. Okay, so further, law of nature will be classified into of two types, quantitatively and qualitatively. Quantitatively means it deals with the study of nature, involves the estimation and measurement of various physical quantities like distance, weight, temperature. Quantitatively means it deals with the various quantities which becomes an inevitable part. In inevitable parts means uh, something which is unavoidable, means we cannot avoid that. Suppose motion of a body can be changed. How we can change the motion of body? By changing the applying force. By changing the applying force. Suppose this is the body and where we are applying the force is 10 Newton. So this is coming like 5 meter per second. Suppose we will increase 20 Newton, so this body will come. Let us little bit more speed like 7 meter per second. So we can change the motion of a body by applying the force, by applying the variable force. But if you have to find the acceleration produced in these motions, so for this we have to know the mass of this body, right? We have to know the mass of this body. So from this formula we can find the accelerations produced in this body. Okay, so hope you will better understand about the qualitatively. Let's move to the furthers. Here we are discussing on quantities. So quantities basically are of two types, physical quantities and non-physical quantities. So what is physical quantities? So physical quantity means the quantities which can be measured. The quantity which can be measured is called physical quantities. Example, force, distance, time, currents. And the law of physics can be described in terms of these physical quantities. Non-physical quantity means the physical quantity which can not be measured, but we can express this. We can express, but we cannot measure, like beauty, like handsome, pretty, love, etc. Suppose you can't say that child is so cute. So how many quits? It's a five. How many quits? It's 5 kg or 5 liters. Suppose taking the example like that guy is very handsome. So can you express this? How much liter is handsome? How much kg? How much milliliter? Right? We can't measure in this, but we can express like we love someone. Right? I love you too much. Okay. So these quantities cannot be measured. So like these quantities are of two types: physical quantities and non-physical quantities. Now, so let's study of Let's study of physical quantity. Basically, in this lesson, we will deal with the physical quantity only. So, first, how you measure this? What is the measurement? So, measurement is nothing but it is a normal method of comparison of unknown quantity with a standard quantity. Right. So the measurement of physical quantities is expressed in two parts. First one is magnitude and second one is units. Suppose we are measuring 5 kg onion, we are measuring 5 meter cloth, right? So what this 5 is expressing, what is this 5? 5 is representing the magnitude and this kg is representing the unit. And here is this 5 is representing the magnitude and this meter is representing the unit. So measurement is expressed in two ways. First, magnitude, and second is the unit. Here we are giving the example of force which is we are measuring in 50 Newton. So what is 50? 50 is here is magnitude and Newton is nothing but unit of this force. Okay, now let us talk about the scalar quantities. In this lesson, we have required to know the scalar and vector quantities. That why uh, one more slide is inserts here is a scalars and vector quantities. So what is a scalar quantity? We have to know basic about this here. The scalar quantity is nothing but and which we have to describe the quantity which can be described completely by their magnitude only, right? Here we are not required the directions. So in this quantities is described completely by their magnitude only. That is called a scalar quantity, like distance, mass, time and speed. A vector quantity is nothing but here we required the magnitude as well as the directions to describe that physical quantities. Okay, so how we can measure, how we can these vector quantities will be added. Additions of these quantities can be special method of additions which we known as vector law of addition, in which we know that vector law of addition. Now these physical quantities can be further classified like as fundamental quantities and derived quantities. So you all know what is fundamental and what is derived quantities. Fundamental means which the quantities which cannot be expressed in any other terms of quantities, means it does not depend on any other physical quantity for their measurement. Like mass, mass is what is a mass? Mass is measured by in kg, length which is measured in meter, time which is measured in second, temperature which is measured in Kelvin. So these all quantities cannot be described in another form. We cannot express this unit in other form of the quantities. Likewise, derived quantity means this derived quantities which is fully depend on the fundamental quantities to express yourself, right? Means derived quantities, the physical quantity that are derived from the fundamental quantities, like that is called derived quantity, like area. So here is given length. Length, what is the length? Unit of length is meter. Here is given area. What is area? L into B, right? L into B. So we can write this B as L, so it will be L square. It means the unit of this is meter square. So we can express this unit of area in terms of meter into meter, which is equal to meter square. It means meter is a basic quantities, it means fundamental quantities. So that's why the unit of area is meter square. Here is two fundamental quantity, two fundamental unit, meter and meter. So these derived quantities which are fully depend on the fundamental quantities to derive it. Okay, let's further move. So how we can write this unit? How we can what is the rules for writing this unit? So here is some rules is given. Symbol for a unit which is named after scientist, right? Like Blaise Pascal. So can you tell me, can anybody tell me which unit is given by Blaise Pascal? Pascal's only, right? Unit of pressure, unit of pressure. So how this unit have to write? We have to write capital P and a small a. This is the Pascal, right? The unit of force is given by Sir Isaac Newton. Unit of force is given by Sir Isaac Newton. Everyone knows about it, right? I hope everyone knows. So force, the unit of force will be right like capital N. So this unit comes after the scientist name, and the unit which comes, which is not after the scientist name, is written like small letter, like meter, like meter. Unit of meter is, we can write like this, small m. Unit of amount of substance, mole, we can write like this only. Unit of time in second, we can write small s, right? So again, if sorry, if we have to write full forms of the unit, should start with lowercase letters. Suppose meter, suppose joule. So what is the wrong here? The wrong is thing, we have this meter, I have written in capital M, so this is wrong way. Second, we have to write in a small letter. This one is small letters. Hertz, we cannot write like this. This is against the rule. So we have to write H E small h e r t z, right? Small r t z. Okay. Symbol of unit should be in plural form. Should not be actually. It should not be in plural form, like we have to write it 5 meters, right? Suppose you have to write 5 meters, so we cannot write in short forms 5 ms. This is not the correct method. This is the wrong. We can read 5 millisecond. This is the correct. But what we have written here, 5 meter per second. So that's why in full forms we cannot write like this, 5 meters or 5 milliseconds. Now, if there is a compound unit, what is compound unit? Do you know? Do you all aware about this? What is compound unit? Compound unit means the unit which combines units which is of two or more physical quantities. Suppose we have a unit of speed. Speed is equal to what? Distance by time. Distance by time means meter per second. So what is combination is here? Unit of speed is a combination of distance and time. This is written in the unit of speed is equal to unit of meter. Unit of speed is equal to unit of distance and unit of time. So you will get the meter per second. So this is compound unit. If you have to write like this, so you have to write, how to write like this, how to write this one, you have to write meter per second, right? Meter per second. So the denominator is compound unit should be written with the negative number. This one, so this explanation is for this one, right? Last rule, this explanation for this last rule. Okay, compound units. Suppose we have a torque, restore force into perpendicular distance. So the unit of force, unit Newton, and this one is meter. How to write like this one? We have to write Newton, we have to give the space, or you have to write Newton dot meter. This is the correct method. So for today it is over. Next class we will discuss about the next topic for this lesson, Thank you. If you have any questions, you can ask in comment. Thank you.